My phone wouldn't stop buzzing. 72 missed calls, all from the same three people. Mom, Dad, my brother Marcus. 48 hours earlier, they told me I was no longer part of the family. Gave me 2 days to pack my things and disappear. I hadn't heard from them since, until 3:47 this morning. That's when the bank alert came through. $29 million. Deposited into my account. One single transfer. Trust disbursement final. 6 hours later, my phone exploded. 72 calls. 14 voicemails. Texts that started with, "We need to talk," and ended with, "Call me now." 48 hours ago, they called me a disgrace. Now they wouldn't stop calling. What changed? Where are you watching from and what time is it there? Drop a comment and hit subscribe because you're going to want to see how this ends. I didn't answer a single call because 2 days before, they made sure I had nothing left to say. I grew up invisible, not neglected, worse, noticed only when I was the problem. My family built their name on real estate, high-rise commercial deals, legacy investments, the kind of money that comes with expectations. My brother Marcus was born for it, confident, polished. He could talk numbers at 8 years old. I wanted to draw. At family dinners, Marcus got toasts. I got corrections. "Why can't you be more like your brother?" I heard that sentence so many times it stopped hurting. It just became background noise. The only person who saw me was my grandmother, Evelyn. Every Sunday she'd call. We'd talk for hours. Art, books, life outside the empire. She paid my art school tuition, quietly. Never told my parents. When I couldn't make rent during a dry freelance month, she'd send a check with a note. "Keep going. You're exactly where you need to be." She died 6 months ago. I was the only one who visited her in hospice. Every single day. My parents came twice. Marcus came once, stayed 10 minutes. At the funeral, Dad shook hands with investors. Mom posed for photos. Marcus networked. I held Grandma's favorite scarf and tried not to scream. She told me something once, in her last clear week. "They'll come for you when you're worth something. Make sure you remember who you were worth something to all along." I didn't understand. Not until the lawyer called. 3 days before the deposit, I got a text from Dad. "Family meeting, tomorrow, 10 a.m., important." I showed up on time. They were already seated, Mom, Dad, Marcus, and the family lawyer. That should have been my first clue. Dad didn't waste time. "We need to discuss your position in the family trust." I blinked. "Okay. You've made it clear you don't value what this family has built. Your lifestyle, your choices, they don't align with our legacy." Mom nodded. "It's been hard, sweetheart. Watching you struggle. We think it's time you stand on your own." Marcus leaned back in his chair, smirking. Dad slid a paper across the table. Official letterhead. Distribution summary. Evelyn left her estate to the family trust. Marcus is executor. Everything has been handled. I stared at the page. It looked real. Legal stamps, signatures. You're no longer included in the estate. We're protecting the family's future. I felt my throat close. You have 48 hours to return the keys to the home office and the car titled in my name. Mom added, her voice soft. Poison wrapped in silk. We love you. But you're an adult now. Time to prove you can make it without us. Marcus said nothing, just smiled. I stood up, grabbed my bag. Anything else? Dad's face was stone. That's all. I walked out, no tears, no begging. I was done. I stayed on a friend's couch that night, trash bag of clothes in the corner, laptop on my knees. Tried to work, couldn't focus. Everything felt hollow. No safety net, no family. Freelance pipeline barely breathing. I kept replaying it. The meeting, Marcus's smirk, Mom's fake concern. The next morning I got an email. Subject line, formal notice regarding estate claim. It was from the family's law firm, the same one that had always represented my father. The letter was 3 paragraphs of legalese, but the message was clear. Any attempt to contest the distribution of Evelyn's estate will be regarded as frivolous and pursued as undue influence. We are prepared to defend the family trust with full resources. Undue influence. They were saying I manipulated my dying grandmother. I sat on a park bench at dawn, stared at nothing. Maybe they were right. Maybe I never belonged. Maybe I should just disappear. Move cities. Start over. Be a ghost. I pulled out my phone. Opened my drafts. Half-written email to Mom. Subject, please. I deleted it. No point begging. But deep in my cloud folder I had something. A folder labeled Receipts. Every email Grandma ever sent me. Screenshots, call logs, notes. I kept everything. I just didn't know yet why it mattered. That night my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't pick up. I answered. Is this about the estate? A woman's voice. Calm, professional. Yes, my name is Karen Wolfe. I was your grandmother's personal attorney. I sat up. Personal attorney? She had her own lawyer? She did. Separate from the family firm. And I've been trying to reach you. My heart was pounding. Your grandmother established a private trust 12 years ago. Irrevocable. You are the sole beneficiary. The world tilted. I'm sorry, what? The trust was designed to disperse 6 months after her passing. That waiting period just ended. The funds transferred this morning. How much? She paused. $29 million. I couldn't breathe. I'm emailing you the trust document now. Signed, notarized, filed with the county 12 years ago. Your grandmother updated it annually. She was very clear about her intent. My phone buzzed. Email, PDF attachment. I opened it. First page, irrevocable personal trust. Beneficiary, my name. Dated 12 years back. Second page, a handwritten letter. Grandma's looping script. For the one who stayed when it cost them everything. You owe them nothing. Do not waver. I read it 3 times. Karen's voice came back, gentle. She knew they'd come for it. That's why she built the firewall. The money hit my account at 3:47 a.m. The calls started at 6:02. They knew. I didn't answer the 72 calls. I listened to the voicemails instead. Mom's voice, shaking. Honey, we need to talk. Please call me. This is urgent. Dad's, cold, clipped. Call me back, today. Marcus left 4 messages. The last one wasn't polite. You know that money was supposed to be ours. Grandma was confused at the end. We're filing to overturn the trust. Don't make this ugly. By noon, Marcus showed up at my friend's apartment. I don't know how he found me. He pounded on the door. My friend opened it. Marcus pushed past her. We need to talk. I stood up. Get out. That money doesn't belong to you. Grandma was senile. You manipulated a dying woman. She was sharper than you'll ever be. We're filing a lawsuit, undue influence. We'll drag you through every court in the state. And we'll tell everyone, cousins, friends, the whole family. You'll be known as the person who stole from a dead woman. I didn't blink. You done? His face went red. You don't deserve a dime. You didn't even work for it. I smiled, calm, cold. Leave, now. He slammed the door on his way out. That afternoon, another email. The family lawyer again. Intent to file, undue influence, cognitive decline, breach of fiduciary duty. Plaintiff demands funds be placed in escrow pending resolution. My friend sat next to me. What are you going to do? I opened my receipts folder. I'm going to let them talk. Then I'm going to show them exactly who Grandma was. I met with Karen the next day. They're threatening to sue for undue influence. What do I need? She smiled. Pulled a folder from her briefcase. Your grandmother prepared for this. She laid out 3 documents. First, an email chain. Between my parents. Subject line, estate planning. My father to my mother. 3 years ago. Better to minimize their share now before entitlement sets in. We'll keep the majority with Marcus. Less risk. I felt my stomach turn. Second document, a recorded phone call. Legal in Grandma's state. Single-party consent. Karen hit play. My father's voice. We'll keep the pressure on. Eventually they'll stop asking. My mother in the background. It's for the best. The call was dated 2 years before Grandma died. She'd heard them, recorded them, saved it. Third document, a neurologist's letter. Signed 6 months before Grandma passed. Patient is fully competent, oriented, and demonstrates sound decision-making capacity. Cognitive function within normal limits for age. Karen tapped the page. She had this updated every year, specifically to prevent a cognitive decline claim. I stared at the papers. Grandma hadn't just given me money. She'd given me a paper trail they couldn't burn. What do I do? Karen leaned back. We file first, declaratory judgment, and we attach everything. I nodded. Let's go. I couldn't let it go. Why now? Why so desperate? I started digging. Public property records, business filings, court dockets. It took me 2 hours, and there it was. My father's commercial real estate fund, the crown jewel of the family empire. 2 properties in pre-foreclosure. Combined debt, $4.7 million. The fund was underwater. Marcus's big executive title? Unpaid. He'd been living off family draws for 18 months. They were counting on Grandma's estate. Expected payout, 8 to 12 million. Enough to stabilize the fund. Keep the illusion alive. That money was gone now. And they were drowning. I found one more thing. An email in my archived folder. From Grandma. Sent a week before she went into hospice. Subject, when the time comes. They love the idea of legacy more than they've ever loved you. You don't fix that with money. You survive it with boundaries. I'm giving you the tools. Use them wisely. I sat back. She knew. She knew they'd come for me. Knew they'd fight. Knew exactly why. And she'd built me a fortress. I wasn't angry anymore. I was ready. They didn't want me back. They wanted the money. And I was about to make sure they never confused the two again. I hired the best estate attorney in the state. Not Karen, she referred me. A litigator with a reputation. I paid the retainer that afternoon. From the trust. We drafted a preemptive filing. Declaratory judgment. The trust is valid, irrevocable, and uncontestable. Counterclaim, harassment. Intentional infliction of emotional distress. Abuse of process. We attached everything. The trust deed. The neurologist's letters. The email chain. The recorded call. And then I did something else. I wrote an email to the entire extended family. Cousins, aunts, uncles, everyone. Subject, setting the record straight. I kept it calm, factual, no bitterness. I outlined the timeline. Grandma's private trust, her 12-year plan, her clear intention. I attached her handwritten letter. And I explained in 2 sentences what my parents had said in their emails and recorded calls. Not to shame them, to protect myself. I copied 19 people, hit send. Then I turned off my phone notifications and waited. Marcus had scheduled a family summit. 2 days out. Neutral ground. The family lawyer's conference room. They expected negotiation. I sent my email the day before the meeting. 19 people saw the truth before my parents could spin it. 4 cousins replied within an hour. All of them supported me. The summit was tomorrow. I walked in with a briefcase and a lawyer, and I was ready to end this. The conference room was cold. Long table, leather chairs, projector screen on the wall. My parents sat on one side, Marcus next to them, their lawyer at the head. I walked in with my attorney. We sat across from them. No one said hello. Dad started. We're here to negotiate a fair distribution of Evelyn's estate. This has gone too far. We're family. My lawyer didn't blink. There is nothing to negotiate. The trust is irrevocable and uncontestable. But since you've made claims, we're here to address them. She opened her laptop. Connected to the projector. First slide, the trust deed. Dated 12 years ago. Signed, notarized, county seal. Established long before Mrs. Evelyn showed any sign of decline. Reviewed annually, reaffirmed in writing each time. Mom's face went pale. Second slide, the neurologist's letter. Cognitive assessment. Conducted 6 months before her passing. Competent, oriented, sound mind. Marcus leaned forward. That doesn't prove... Third slide, the email. Dad's words. 3 years old. Better to minimize their share now before entitlement sets in. Silence. Fourth slide, audio waveform, timestamp, my lawyer hit play. Dad's voice filled the room. We'll keep the pressure on. Eventually they'll stop asking. Mom closed her eyes. Fifth slide, the foreclosure notices, 4.7 million in debt. This is why you're here. Not love, desperation. The family lawyer cleared his throat. Looked at my father. I advise you to withdraw all claims. Marcus tried one last time. This is bullshit. My lawyer cut him off. We've also documented 19 incidents of harassment, threatening communications, and attempted coercion. If you continue, we'll file for a restraining order and pursue damages. Dad's jaw clenched. His mask cracked. You'd really humiliate your own family. Drag us through the mud? I spoke for the first time. Calm, clear. You already did that. I'm just standing up. Their lawyer slid a paper across the table. Settlement terms. No contact. No further claims. Mutual release. Marcus stared at me. Face red, fists clenched. Dad signed first. Then Mom. Then Marcus. I walked out of that room, and I never looked back. The settlement was final within a week. No contact. No claims. Done. Dad's real estate fund restructured quietly. Sold off 2 properties. Scaled back. Marcus took a salaried job at a competitor firm. No longer the golden child, just another associate. I heard all this through cousins, the ones who reached out after my email. Turns out I wasn't the only one who'd felt invisible. 3 months later, Mom sent an apology email. Short, vague. "I'm sorry for any pain we caused." I read it once. Didn't reply. Some bridges aren't meant to be rebuilt. I used part of the trust to start something Grandma would have loved. A scholarship fund. In her name. For first-generation students in the arts. Full tuition. No strings. Just a chance to create without apology. The university sent me a photo of the plaque. The Evelyn Fund. For the ones who stay. I cried when I saw it. I moved to a new city. Bought a small studio with tall windows. Light everywhere. Started a design consultancy. Built it slowly, carefully, on my terms. The work came. Good clients. Creative projects. I wasn't rich by my family's standards. But I was free. And that was worth more than all of it. The cousins who supported me? We meet for dinner now. Every few months. They became my family. The one I chose. I kept the receipts folder. But I rarely open it anymore. I don't need to prove anything. I know who I am. I know who Grandma believed I was. And that's enough. 1 year later, I was sitting in a park. Golden hour. Sketchbook open. My phone buzzed. A text. From a blocked number. I knew who it was. I didn't open it. I just turned off my phone. Kept drawing. Because some calls aren't worth answering. Some doors are meant to close. And some legacies are built in silence. Family isn't who shares your blood. It's who shows up when you have nothing to give them. Grandma knew that. And now, so do I. If you've ever had to choose between loyalty and self-respect, drop your story in the comments. What would you have done with that first phone call? Would you have answered or let it ring? Subscribe if you believe boundaries are love. And remember, keep your receipts. Keep your spine. This story is a fictionalized dramatization and is not legal or financial advice. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next one.